Hello, my friends. I'm bringing this to you on a different device, and I'm going to upload this when I get home. I just heard some of the biggest nonsense I've ever heard in my life because things aren't going the way people think they should be going. So, you know me, and if you've been around me long enough, I've been kind of a follower of, well, yeah, that guy who I now believe isn't that person. Okay. So, I every so often tune stuff in and listen to this guy just because not really any real deal, but I like to see where things are. Okay, and I can't turn this guy down, and it's kind of irritating the hell out of me. But anyway, I'm having a hard time getting out of this parking lot because it's so crowded. But anyway, I was listening to this guy, and it's so stupid. These guys are blaming a stock market crash on the Democratic Party, liberals, whatever you want to say they are. Okay? Well, unfortunately, that is not the truth because these tariffs were not imposed by liberals. These tariffs were imposed by you know who. Everybody knew with half a brain that the stock market would fall if they imposed these tariffs on these other countries. They all knew it. Now, I never thought about this until yesterday. And you guys know me that I don't take everything at 100% anymore. Okay, so this earthquake came across the wire yesterday, and it was in some really funny place that I didn't even, know where that was at first. And it comes to find out that earthquake is located near Greenland. How interesting. How interesting is that somebody would want a certain part of land, and then boom, there's an earthquake 6.6 right near it. Now, we're not going to talk too much about that right now. But I'm listening to this guy, the guy that everybody thinks is Bill Hicks. And when this guy threw that baloney out there, I thought, you know what, dude? I believed you for a while. Then I only got believed in you a little bit. And then when it got to be a point where I really didn't believe in it, I just tune in to see how wrong you are. You're sitting there trying to spout off that these two guys are in it for our better. They're not. They're billionaires. They're not in it for our better. The stock market fell 1,100 points, and this guy's on here talking about how, the liberals brought it on, and blah, 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 blah. And I got a hearty middle finger to give you because I'm neither. I'm not a Democrat. I was registered the other, but I'm more in the middle now. I've never liked politics. I always thought they were shady. You're not going to get me to believe 98% of what's going on. And to sit there and blame a political party for stock market crash, you're a special kind of, you said that's about the other guys, so you're a special kind of stupid. Okay? And it really irritates me when you guys think that, he's here for the betterment of us all. And the guy is not. The dude's had 6 failed bankruptcies. He's been seen in pictures with other people. It wasn't Photoshop. It wasn't AI. It was way before all that. And yet, this guy's so great. And it's like I told you, if he came into your house and pooped in your home, it wouldn't matter to you because he's here for the betterment of us all. But it isn't. I've already told you where this is all going because if any of you guys believe in what's going on, well, guess what's going to happen? Stock market crash. People are going to get upset. They're going to start to riot. They're going to hit the streets. The weather's getting a little bit better. And then all of that's going to start to happen. Again, a lot of times they build walls to keep people in, not people out. But in the guise of keeping certain people out, everybody's for all these walls. not realizing that it'll keep them in too. Then, after you go after a different country, sorry guys, and accuse them of all this other stuff, which may or may not be true, well, you do know that drugs come from other parts of the world and are made here. So it ain't just that one area. You see what I mean? And one of the things that's driven a lot of people crazy in this whole thing is that Mr. No Tie, for some stupid reason, is everywhere the other guy goes. Whatever happened to the original guy that shot from the hip and did all that? Now this guy seems to always have to have paper by him. The other guy is always with him, even if he doesn't need to be. And like at the speech, did Mr. Advisor need to be there? No, but he was. And he made sure to wear a tie because everybody got on him for it. Then you didn't talk about anything. You talked about, what did you talk about? Naming mountains and all this and everything else. And, you weren't talking about topics. In my mind, you weren't. So it's just kind of a crazy gimmick as to how you're not really talking about anything important, just naming mountains, talking about areas you want to own, all this and everything else. And I just sat there and thought, this guy is what he's accusing all of us of is a special kind of stupid. It's like, dude, Ukraine didn't start that war. That was started by Russia. Russia went in there and wanted back their stuff, and so they started this war with the Ukraine. Now, yeah, we give them a lot of money. Okay, we're on the other side now. And it was supposed to be to help them war-wise. Was it? Who knows? But that's what it was supposed to be for. Okay? Now, all of a sudden, we don't sign with them because, they won't give us this special minerals deal. See what I mean? It's crazy, guys. But as I said, everybody eats the pablum on either side. I am so glad I'm center because one side blames the other and the other side blames this side, and it goes on and on. And then pretty soon, what you thought would never happen will end up happening. Everything I've said from the freaking year of 2000 and whenever, when I started my channel, has come true since I said it. Whether it took 10 years, whether it took 15 years, whether it happened right then and there, it all happened when I told you that it would. Okay? So, just know that all the things I told you came to pass. I actually have it on his channel right now. But I am not going to listen to that when I know it's baloney. It's flat out baloney, guys. It is. Liberals didn't cause this stock market crash. Tariffs did. Same thing happened in 1929 under Calvin Coolidge. He started throwing tariffs all around, and the next thing you knew, the market crashed. I wasn't alive at the time, but my dad's father was a paper millionaire when the crash happened. Luckily, he had a lot of land, because eventually down the line, that land ended up being worth some money, but his paper stock was gone. If you have your money in the stock market and you really believe that it's going to stay where it is, I got some bridges to sell you. So you know what? You better get a hold of reality, do something about it, because in the next little bit of time, and it ain't going to be long, there's going to be some big things happening. It's all up to you what you decide to do. You want to cling on to your stock? Fine. That doesn't mean that everything's going to be good and gravy. Once I get into my little home area, I'm going to turn this off. So again, as I'm just trying to tell you, you got to understand that you got to be a little bit more on the game, not believe everything these guys do that trying to win an office tell you. You know what I mean? You've got to believe your own self. You can't go with what people say just to get elected. Okay? I had a great person I would have voted for if she would have run. She was totally old enough and everything else, but did it happen? No. She decided to start a family, and it all changed. I'm telling you this. You better be ready, because things are going to get crazy, and they're going to get crazy pretty fast. Once I park my car, I'm going to get ready to do some other shit. Okay? Pardon the language, because I try to stay away from that. But until then, you guys have the best day you can, and I'll be seeing you. But just understand that a lot of things are coming your way that you're not even ready for. Sitting there and blaming liberals. I looked at that and went, you are a special kind of stupid. And you know what, Bill Hicks? Why don't you just come out and tell everybody that you are that guy? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So you're just like, what's his name? You got accused of some stuff and you got off. So now you're like Teflon Don shooting from your hip. Come on, dude. You and I know where this is all going. Well, I'm not going to do much more because I made it to my home. You guys have a really good day, and I'll be seeing you. Hang in there. Things can only get worse. Bye bye. Excuse me while I turn my phone over to turn it off. Oh, it might be still running.